What comes to your mind when you hear the word research? That it is a technical, elaborate, and difficult process. That it is reserved only for academics, theorists, experts, and scientists, right? Wrong. In reality, research is the simple process of knowing and looking for the answers to the problems that we face. The concept of research evolved alongside the development of the human mind. Long time ago, human beings could not explain the things around them. They used their imagination and personal beliefs, and from there, they created many legends. Then humans learned to use reason. We formulated guesses. We observed data and phenomena using our own senses. And from our observations, we learned to arrive at conclusions. But the human mind developed further. We learned to experiment. And this became the foundation of the sciences and the scientific method. The human mind has so developed that we even think of how we think. We theorize about knowledge. Some of these theories are wrong, while others are simply true. Some of these are traditional and have only interpreted a static world. Some of these are radical and propose to change this dynamic world. There is one amazingly liberating set of principles about knowledge that we can live by. One, objective reality is knowable, and that is how we gain knowledge. Two, there are correct and incorrect ideas. And three, the main source of correct ideas is social practice, the struggles in economic production and among social classes, and through scientific experiment. There are ways of knowing. We use our senses and data around us, and we have perceptual or empirical knowledge. And then we classify and understand these and gain conceptual knowledge. Then we put the concepts or ideas we have formulated and apply logic and reason and gain rational knowledge. Then we apply rational knowledge into practice, or maybe we simply gain knowledge from experience. Then we synthesize our practice, our experience into a higher idea, and we make theoretical knowledge. Then again, prove this theoretical knowledge from social practice. This development of the human mind, this process of knowledge creation, is the essence of research. Research, therefore, is the scientific and systematic investigation and thorough study and analysis of existing situations, issues, or problems. It is systematic because it follows a process of inquiry that is documented. It is scientific because it uses empirical, verifiable, and evidence-based observations in formulating conclusions. Research is our very own thinking process. Unfortunately, no matter how natural research emerges as our thinking process, no matter how simple this process is, no matter how useful it is for our organizations and development work, many of us are inhibited and intimidated by it. This is because the traditional theories on knowledge that we have mentioned earlier have also engendered traditional and wrong views about research. And unfortunately too, like the dominant classes in our respective societies, the wrong views have also dominated our thinking. Research is often associated with the traditional social science research, which is practiced in universities, market research agencies, corporations, government agencies, and multilateral institutions. This type of research is highly empirical in nature. It views society as the laboratory and the people and communities as the specimen. Its goal is to generate so-called scientific data, or those that are free of any bias and may be subjected to statistical analysis. Its conclusion, which is the development of a theory, is its ultimate contribution to knowledge. If we look at research this way, we tend to have all the wrong views about research, and also all the wrong views, period. What are these wrong views about research that tend to dominate our thinking? One, that research is reserved for academics, theorists, experts, and scientists. They have undergone rigorous and formal training and practice in universities, laboratories, and other knowledge-generating institutions. Only they can do research. Only they can determine the purpose and use of research. In short, only the educated, and in the reality of commercialized education, only those who can afford to have education can do research. That too, research is an endeavor that is reserved to the elite. The elite overwhelmingly monopolize research, knowledge production, and dissemination. Transnational corporations dominate research and innovation to be used for industrial and commercial profit. The elite can dictate and influence social research through grants to academic and research institutions, and even big NGOs. They can monopolize and control internet technology, cyberspace, and other sources of information. The elite can use the results of research as they please for their own profit and interests, for their self-preservation in that static world. And three, that the ordinary people lack the know-how and skills to do research for themselves. They are untrained, they lack objectivity, their data are unreliable, they shouldn't even have access to scientific knowledge. The traditional and wrong views about research have shrouded research in jargon and technical terms, in the process marginalizing the ordinary folk from understanding. They have also forwarded the wrong notion that research should be neutral and value-free, in the process marginalizing the demands and aspirations of the oppressed people. The traditional and wrong views about research have distanced us, the people, from investigating our own situation. They have alienated us from a valuable thinking process that is crucial in changing our situation in this dynamic world. It's time to smash these oppressive views and liberate ourselves. Research is an integral part of people's struggles for social change. No investigation, no right to speak. No information, no organization. No organization, no action. We don't have to belabor the point. As we have said in the beginning, ideas and action, social consciousness and social practice, these are the dialectical unities of social change. Therefore, we need a more progressive view about research. If the elite can use research as a tool to further their own interests, so can we, the people. And as we keep saying, the difference is that elite research preserves the status quo, while people's research seeks to contribute to social change. We have to restore to the people the right to their own experiences, and to derive from these experiences the knowledge for their own upliftment. We need to advance people's research. What is people's research? If we go back to our definition earlier, it is simply putting people at the center. People's research is the people's scientific and systematic investigation and thorough study and analysis of their existing situation, issues, or problems. It can be a team, a committee, a collective, an entire organization, or even an entire school that comes together to do research. What is important is that they represent people's interests and analyze information about the people's situation and use this analysis to plan action that is responsive to the people's needs and problems. Where does the idea of people's research come from? Definitely not from a vacuum. It also did not fall from the sky. Again, the progressive idea of people's research is also from social practice, beautifully summarized in theoretical knowledge, and again put into practice. We may cite several concepts that have contributed to the evolution of people's research, concepts that themselves have been culled from experience. Marxist philosophy of dialectical and historical materialism explains the roots of social problems, basing on the contradictions and relations among social classes. Roots is radicalist or radix in Latin. Apparently, a philosophy that strikes at the roots of social problems is still considered radical to this day. Fortunately, the philosophy is a strong influence in doing people's research. For what is the point of doing research if we do not strike at the roots of social problems? From this philosophy emerged many other contributions to the development of people's research, one of which is the field of anthropology. Anthropology is the study of the development of human societies. Its contribution to people's research is its method that in order to study human communities, we have to spend some time with them. We have to immerse and integrate with them. Another is adult education, notably Paulo Freire's critical pedagogy, which has proven that knowledge creation is not reserved solely for the elite and the educated. Ordinary people, through their everyday lives and struggles, also produce knowledge. They can also conduct research. Other types of liberating and transformative education and pedagogy, specifically the method of documenting people's experiences, have also contributed to the development of people's research. But most important of all are social movements, people's movements for change and the betterment of our respective nations. People power, our development work, all have contributed to the development of people's research. How we do social investigation, how we look at the problem qualitatively rather than being simply stuck in its quantitative aspect, how we do urgent actions based on what we know or have known, how we raise political consciousness, organize communities, and empower the grassroots to act for and among themselves, how we take stock of our actions and correct our errors, how we move on. All these have contributed to the development of the type of research that is biased for the people. Eventually, even the academics have adopted different kinds of research: action research, qualitative research, participatory research, participatory action research. All these have taken after the progressive school of people's research. In a nutshell, people's research is the simple process by which the community and the people may collectively reflect on their situation, undertake critical analysis, uncover and understand unequal power relations between social classes, draw lessons and guidance to think of the appropriate action and means to solve their problems, contribute to the process of education, organizing, and mobilization towards social change, reflect on their actions to undertake research again. People's research is a progressive process of growth and development. It is liberating as it breaks free from the shackles of traditional research and promotes self-reliance and sovereignty. Since our research is biased for the people, we must observe the highest principles and ethics in doing research. The people deserve no less. What are these principles? Social practice is the primary source of knowledge. Our research is against purely academic or statistical framework that is blind to the dynamics of social groups. Our research is against relying purely on theory, book knowledge, subjective assumptions, and outdated information. We recognize the linkages of local, national, and global issues. We collect data from various sources, key economic and political indicators from various periods and epochs, to show the relationships of such data on certain issues. We as researchers are firmly grounded with our respective people's movements and their struggles. We continually process, share, and popularize information and analysis. This is our responsibility to the people who are affected by the research. We perform with the highest ethical standards. People's research commits to the needs and interests of the people, respects human dignity, human rights, and social responsibility, is done with truthfulness, honor, integrity, objectivity, and competence, will not cause physical or mental injury to those who are involved in research, promotes values and practices that are essential to collaborative work, promotes researchers' responsibility to the stakeholders and the public, promotes public support to research. Ready to begin people's research? Last few reminders before we set off. 1. Learn the art of social investigation. That is by spending a considerable amount of time with the people, their communities and organizations, shall we be able to start people's research. 2. Consultation, consultation, consultation. People's research is the people's thinking process. This will not happen with meetings, meetings, meetings. Finally, let's form a team, a committee, or an organization. Let's build a whole new school of people's researchers.